Welcome back, my yogi friends, to the channel. It has been quite some time since I have been able to put out a video, and for that I am very, very apologetic. However, we had a family member who grew gravely ill and unfortunately ended up passing away, and that time that was spent in my family member's last days kind of took precedence over everything in my life. But I was so grateful and thankful that I had the time with him before his passing. And so today I would like to dedicate this practice to the grieving heart, because even though we are beyond the immediate setting of his passing, my heart just still aches on certain days. So when you're ready, get into something comfy, roll out your mat, and just come as you are today to this practice. I really am so excited to be back on the mat with you. You have no idea. What I have learned in the last few months is that being off my mat is not acceptable in my life. I need that stillness before God. But what I also learned is that sometimes you can find stillness in other arenas, which I had to do many times because of the chaos of what was happening. I wasn't always readily available to be on my mat. So this practice is dedicated to the mourning heart, whether you are mourning a job loss, a relationship, a loved one. It doesn't matter. Mourning hurts, and I hope to bring some good heart openers to you today, so that we can open our hearts back up to that stillness of God that brings peace and inner stillness that we all still strive for in this world. So if you will, we're going to come to a simple seated position, hands in prayer center, rocking back onto those sits bones, sitting up nice and tall, dropping those shoulders back and down the spine, closing the eyes, softening the face, softening the legs, and just settling in to our intention. Our intention is the peace of God that comes to those who mourn. He helps us to lie down in green pastures, bringing peace to our inner soul that so needs it. Lastly, we're going to come to our breath. Inhaling and exhaling as it feels comfortable to your pace. Friends, it would be so great if you could subscribe to this channel, as well as hit the thumbs up button to let me know that you like the content so I can bring more your way. All right, on your next inhale, we're going to extend both hands up to the top. Exhale, bring them back down through to heart center. One more time. Take a nice inhale in, extending the hands up, bringing them on through to heart center at prayer center. One more time. Big inhale in, extend those hands up, placing them together, bring them on through to heart center. Good. Place that left hand to the right shoulder, right hand back behind, gaze back behind the right shoulder. Good. What in this day do you need to leave here on the mat? That is always our question. Leaving behind stress, mourning, whatever it may be, and picking up peace instead. Go ahead and rotate around to the other side. So right hand, left knee, left hand back behind. Gaze back behind that left shoulder. Still spine nice and tall, feeling that nice spinal twist. Good, and come back to heart center. Good. We're going to move into all fours, working our way into cat-cow. So reminding you of the positioning, wrist under elbow, elbow under shoulder, knees under hips, feet, tops of the feet flat to the mat. We're going to drop the belly down, lifting up the top of the head as we inhale. As we exhale, we're going to curve the spine, tucking the chin under, rotating those hips forward. Good. And then we're going to cruise through that or flow through that at our own breath pace. So inhaling for cow and exhaling for cat. Good. Warming up the spine and the hips as we move towards some heart openers for today's practice. Good, and we're going to stay here. We're going to extend the right leg out long, tilt those toes towards the mat, so flexing the foot to the mat. Leg nice and extended straight. Good, feeling that in the lower abdominals. So doing a little bit of ab work while we're warming our spine up. Good, bring that right leg forward, extend that left leg back. Feeling that long line of energy from the top of the head out to the tips of the toes. Toes pointed towards the mat. You are doing a great job working on that core balance as we move through here. Good. And bring that leg back in. We're just going to do some nice slow rotations of the hips. I'm starting in a counterclockwise position, but feel free to go clockwise. We're going to go both directions, but just kind of moving the hips in a nice gentle circle. Nothing strenuous or strained. Good, and come back to center. And then go ahead and move towards the opposite direction. Good, just working those hips in a circular motion, finishing warming up the body. Good, and come back to neutral. Curl those toes. We're going to come into our first downward facing dog. This is our first hamstring stretch, so feel free to pedal out your dog or tilt the feet up and down so that we get in some additional stretching. And then when you're ready, press those hips back towards the wall behind you, completing our warm up of the hamstrings. Good. Look to the top of the mat. Walk it forward. Forward folded out. Good. Inhale. We're going to take our hands up to the top as we stand. Exhale. Forward folded out. Good. Inhale, halfway lift, extending the spine out, gaze about 2 feet in front of the mat. Exhale, forward folded out, hands to the mat. We're going to extend those feet back to a plank pose. Good. Take the knees to the mat, uncurl the toes, come all the way down, and then press yourself up into that upward dog. This is a little modification, a little easier than our regular vinyasa. And then curl those toes and take yourself back to downward facing dog. Good. Look to the front of the mat. Walk it on up. Forward folded out. Good. On your next inhale, we're going to stand to the top, taking our hands all the way up. Exhale, forward folded out. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice straight spine. Exhale, forward folded out. Hands to the mat. Extending our feet back to that plank. If you want to move through a chaturanga push-up and up dog, feel free. I'm going to take the modification. Placing my knees down, uncurling the toes, coming all the way flat to the mat, and then pressing myself up to that up dog position. Good. Uncurl the toes, back to downward facing dog. Good. Knees down, bum to the heels for our first child's pose. Coming back to the breath, nice and easy. A soft inhale, a soft exhale. Good. We're going to come back to all fours, curl those toes, come back to a downward facing dog. We're going to extend the right leg back, bring it on through. We're going to come into a low lunge. Good. Uncurl the toes of the left leg, placing that left knee on the mat. We're going to bring our hands straight up. Good. And then extending the low back just a bit, bringing our hands back behind the shoulders. Good. Coming back up to straight arms up to the heavens. And then on our next inhale, we're going to bring our hands back to cactus arms, really opening up that heart, letting our exchange happen of the grief and the stress that comes with mourning. And we're going to take God's presence and His light in exchange. Good. Place both hands on either side of that right foot. We're going to bring that right leg up off the mat. We're going to blade that left foot down. We're going to straighten out the right foot. Place that right hand in front of the right foot. And we're going to take our left hand up for fallen star. And again, kind of opening up that chest, really soaking in God's grace. Good. And then bring both hands on either side of that right foot, unblading the left foot. We're going to bring that right foot back to meet the left in downward facing dog. We're going to complete that sequence on the other side. So extend that left leg back, bring it on through. Runner's lunge. Lay that right foot down or right knee down. Uncurl the right toes. We're going to bring both hands up to the heavens. We're going to create just a small back bend. Good. And then we're going to come back up to neutral and then taking those hands into cactus arms. Good. Really opening up that chest and exchanging that grace for the mourning and the grief and the stress. that comes with loss of whatever it may be that you're dealing with. Good. We're going to place both hands on either side of that left foot. We're going to curl the right toes. Bring that leg on up. We're going to blade that right foot down. We're going to straighten out the left leg. We're going to place the left hand in front of the left foot and rotate that right arm up towards the heavens. The gaze can go that way as well. Reaching into a falling star on the left. Good. Bring that right hand down. Unblade the left foot. We're going to bring that right foot or left foot back to meet the right foot in downward facing dog. Good. We're going to extend that left leg back. We're going to bring it on through. We're going to rotate both feet to the long edge of the mat. And we're going to do a nice forward fold in an open angle A. Good, just letting that upper body weight become nice and heavy. I do not have my block steadily available today, but if you have a block and you have it available, feel free to place both arms, bringing the mat closer to you, of course. If that's a need today, that is fine. Good. We're going to curl those toes in one at a time so that we're in a little less of a forward fold. Still a wide-legged forward fold, but not quite the open A. Good. We're going to turn that left foot back towards the front of the mat. We're going to unblade that right foot. We're going to make our way into a child's pose. So we're going to bring that left foot back to meet the right in downward facing dog. Good. Our final down dog for this particular class. And then knees to the mat, bum to the mat. Rotate those heels around into staff pose, extending those toes up to the heavens. We're going to take a nice deep breath in, up to the heavens. Exhale, forward fold it out. Good, and just go to where your edge is. You certainly don't want to hurt yourself, so just to your edge. Good, and then we're going to come back up to center. We're going to rotate our bum to the heels. We're going to slowly roll back onto our backs, rocking our hips from side to side. Good. Extend that right leg out long, leaving the left leg pulled in. Using the right hand, we're going to pull that left leg over to the right side. Extend that left arm out to the left side. You'll feel a nice low spinal twist. For those who have low back problems or tight hips, this is a great pose to help with that. Sometimes you'll even hear snap, crackle, pop. That's okay. Good. Feels so yummy on my low back, I know. Good. Rotate back to neutral. Bring that right leg up. We're going to take that left leg long. Bring in that right knee. Take the left hand. Rotate that right knee over to the left side of the body. Extending out the right arm. Maybe even feeling that snap, crackle, pop on this side. But really just feeling that low spinal twist. It really just feels so yummy. Good. And keep with the breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Hold the pose. Don't hold the breath. Good. Rotate onto your back. Bring both knees into center. One more time. We're going to rotate from side to side. Good. And then we're going to extend out. I did bring my bolster, if you have one handy, or a pillow from your bed. Anything that makes Shavasana a little more comfy, feel free. However, there are lots of times I just want our regular corpse pose or Shavasana with no props and just my body flat to the mat. So go ahead and tuck those shoulders down and under. Come to that final resting pose of where you feel comfortable today. Coming to the breath. Becoming heavy to the earth. One limb at a time. Softening the face. Tucking the shoulders down and under. And exchanging grief for grace. Grief is extremely hard. Emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. So if we can exchange that pain for grace. Friend, maintain your stillness. Stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like. But I would like to read from you from Jesus Calling. This is one of my favorite books to read from. As you turn your attention to me, feel the light of my presence shining upon you. Open your mind and heart to receive my heavenly smile of approval. Let my gold-tinged love wash over you and soak into the depths of your being. As you are increasingly filled with my being, you experience joyous union with me. I in you, and you in me. Your joy in me and my joy in you become intertwined and inseparable. I suffuse your soul with joy in my presence. At my right hand, there are pleasures forevermore. Friends, you can reference John 17, 20 through 23, or Psalm 16, 11. Thank you for practicing with me today, friends. It was more of a blessing than you will ever know. I'm so glad to be back. And again, I know I've mentioned, but if you could hit the subscribe button down below and hit the thumbs up, it lets me know the type of content that you like and type of practices that you will continue with, so I can continue to bring content your way. Blessings on your day, and I will see you on the mat again next time.